So that's a lovely. So you had a fact about a place with a name with an M, Madagascar, and my next fact is also about a place whose name is with an M.
Find out after YouTube inserts some random adverts right now. Watch an advert, the Stay Soft commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the worst commercial. Whoever wrote that, you're terrible. I hate you. Take it off the air. It's
Yeah.
been going for a year now. It makes me hate myself when I see it.
There's a girl who does voiceovers, but she's very super excited about things that you shouldn't really be that excited
Yeah.
about. Get life insurance for only, then she does another one. Specsavers for only 300. Get fabulous
Madagascar should hire her for the Lima
It's
commercial.
only 200 lemurs.
There are 12 different kinds of lemurs left in Madagascar, and
No.
each of them is delicious and prepared in its own way. Why does she get on your nerves?
It's like, don't be so happy.
Don't be so. No, but you know she goes there. She's hungover. Oh, Specsavers, and then the producer's like, "Can we get a bit more? Can we get a bit more happiness?" Yeah, there's Specsavers. It's pretty nice. No. We need you to up the energy on this one. Just let's run it again. Just really give it the. I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm only being paid $600
That's when
to
you
do
like
this thing. Yeah.
with the poor voice artist in the sound booth.
Yeah.
And they're watching through the screens like, am I doing it? And the producer's like, fuck this, I'm going in. And he walks out, oh fuck, he's coming in. Do it again, this time with feeling. It's like,
I like the ones you do, the voiceovers you do when sitting in the booth with the sound engineer, the client themselves.
oh shit.
Did you like it? No, we want more
God.
enthusiasm, and that's what happens to that woman. She goes to these things, and then Specsavers, the client, is sitting there, and they're like, "No, I don't think this voiceover artist you've hired understands just how exciting Specsavers is. This is our annual summer sale, up to 20% off."
She's like, so she's being as happy as she can be, but she's crying on the inside.
Yeah, oh,
she's absolutely
definitely.
crying.
Definitely, if that was my job, I'd also be crying. All right, so you have a place name that
yes,
begins
yes.
with an M.
Yes, and
that
it's-
isn't Madagascar. What could
No,
it possibly be?
It even sounds similar to Madagascar.
Oh, does it?
Not as long, but almost.
What is it? What
Called
could it
Macassar. Macassar?
be? It does sound quite like Madagascar.
Yeah. Do you know where it is?
No,
Stop it.
no. Where is it?
It's down the road from me in
Really?
my new house.
That's
Flats.
amazing. I've only just recently moved to Cape Town, right? I don't know where anything is. People will say to me, "Oh, we're going to Deep River this weekend," and I'll be like, "Where's?" And they'll be like, "It's like a kilometer from your house."
So my fact is this. Deep River. Deep River. It's got 4 ways that Cape Townians spell it on their street signs.
Oh, really?
Deep River, that's totally English. Then there's Deep Rivier, English.
And
deep.
then Deep River,
Exactly.
and then
Deep
totally
Rivier.
Afrikaans.
Yeah.
I think it should be totally Afrikaans. I always say Deep Rivier, but that's probably because I come from Gauteng.
Cool. So are you ready about this exciting fact? Makassar, which is close to me, is named after a place in Indonesia. And that is my fact. Then I'll let
That's
you
your fact.
I'll let you think about it, then I'll tell you more
All
about
right.
it.
No, I hope so. I hope there's a bit of a story here.
Mm.
Yeah, it can be named after a place in Indonesia. A lot of Indonesian slaves were brought to South Africa and worked in the Cape. So yeah, I can believe that an area in Cape Town is named after Indonesia. Sure.
All right. Well, let me try and tell you the story as best I can.
Okay.
Fudge my way through the facts. But indeed, you're right. It is named after a place in Indonesia because the Dutch and the British were the East India Company. They were doing their thing in the East, and
And by their thing, what you mean is plundering. They were plundering. They were all plundering.
Yeah.
But we just call it their thing rather than saying outright they were plundering.
yes.
Yeah.
And there was an Indonesian named Abadin Tadia Chusup. He was born in 1623. And he was commonly known as Sheikh Yusuf. And he went on around about in the 1660s, went on the Hajj to Mecca from Indonesia. He was about to return, and he found out that the Dutch had conquered his Makassar in Indonesia, where he was from, and so he kind of stayed in Java, and then married a prince's daughter, and then the Dutch East India Company came in and kind of chose sides, and they got the son. So his kind of brother-in-law, they got him to try and overthrow his own dad. Bad shit that they did, hey? And he kind of tried to escape from the Dutch, but eventually he was a royal, and the Dutch thought he was going to cause trouble, so they exiled him to one of their other colonies in the Cape of Good Hope, and he came on a boat. It's even got a Dutch name, which you can put in
under
yeah. And they put him on a.
the pantoffel.
He was. I've got what's the name of the
I'm
bloody
just
boat?
making up names.
So he was received. I don't have the name of the boat. The Voetboeg. Promise you, Voetboeg was the name of the ship.
That's somebody who's named so many ships he doesn't give a fuck anymore, you know.
And
you're like, yeah, this one I'm calling it the vitamin C. This one's the Mary after my wife. This one's named after my daughter, and this one's my daughter, and this one's my daughter. This one's after my friend Larry. This one's after the business that I own over there. This one's after my farm.
They got
I'm so tired.
The Dutch
Voetboeg.
were conquering at such a rate that they got so bored with naming things. There's a wine farm near Stellenbosch called Vane London. They're just tired. What's it in? Yeah, it's fucking Vane London.
Voetboeg sounds like something you'd look up on Pornhub.
So tired. It sounds like a weird sport.
Really into Voetboeg.
Yeah, you play football. Yeah, I love football.
Yeah, me and all my mates go on the weekend, we play football. And then we put it on Pornhub.
And the first river they got to after leaving Cape Town or exploring was the first river that they got to. So what are they going to call it? Fucking Eersterivier.
Oh.
It's the Eersterivier. It's then.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyways, so yeah, the Voetboeg. So he's a troublemaker. We don't want him. He's a noble. He's got wealth. He could cause an uprising. We'll send him to the Cape of Good Hope. He's Muslim. So he had 2 wives, a few concubines, a few children and friends, about 40 people all in all. He's received by the governor of the Cape at that time, Simon van der Stel. Stellenbosch.
Infamous.
Stellenbosch, yeah. And he was like, we don't want the slaves that we've brought over to be influenced by him because he's a Muslim. So we'll put him on the farm called Soetvlei or something. I probably got Zandvliet. Look at me making up my own names.
No.
Zandvliet, which is in the Makassar area, which is next to the sea by Strand, Somerset West. And that's where they put him. But word got out, and the slaves made sort of pilgrimages to him. And it's a triumphant story for the South African Muslim community. Because it's because of him that the spread of Islam grew in South Africa. And there's a shrine to him, and he died in 1699. And there's a shrine to him in Makassar, and it was named after the place he was from, Makassar in Indonesia. So Makassar, population of about 40,000 people. They're next to, on the other side of the road, the N2 from Somerset West. And the shrine is still there, and we should all go visit it.
That may be my favorite fact you've ever come up with, because it's a story I've never heard before.
Really?
And yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, really good.
Sheikh Yusuf,
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, and the Muslims, they, especially the Cape ones, South African ones who know about it, they often make a little visit.
I'm beginning to feel bad for making so much fun of Dietz for choosing this as a topic name now, because you've made this legit. You've gone and you found an amazing
nice
fact.
one,
Yeah,
eh?
that's a good one.